Going live, going live. Johnny 5 is alive. Welcome, everybody, back to Tully Television Thursday night stream. I want to thank everyone for stopping by. It means the world to us here on Tully Television. I hope I found you in a great mood tonight. If not, I'm hoping that I can get you into a better mood. That's the whole point of this channel. Yeah, it's wanna give you a little bit of a great day. You know what I mean? Even if you've been having a great day, not great day. I hope I can bring a little bit of enjoyment into your life. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that red subscribe button down below. Hit all on the notifications so you never miss an upcoming video, upcoming episode, upload, stream, whatever it is. Hit that. It does help our community grow and makes the channel go into the algorithm better to be discovered by newer people along with the viewers that have been here since day one. Whether you're a new viewer, older viewer, I hope that I've been able to earn that subscription if you haven't hit that subscribe bar down below. I will say that this week has been an interesting week with some things that I've wanted to talk about. I uploaded Loki episode 1 today on the page. So go check that out after we're done with the stream here, if you want. In the chat, I put the YouTube link into that leads into the He-Man trailer for the Netflix show that's coming out. And in the description box down below, I've laid links down for my social media accounts, my bonfire account, where you can get the latest Tully Television shirt straight to the moon, baby. Straight to the moon, baby. You can get this shirt, and there's a few other designs there that you can get if you're interested in doing that. But yeah, today I kind of want to talk about He-Man a little bit. Sorry, I just had to send off something real quick to somebody. He-Man. Okay, He-Man. I was a big He-Man fan growing up. I had the toys. The only thing that eluded my grasp as a child was Castle Grayskull. Okay, the toy Castle Grayskull was the only thing that eluded my grasp as a child that I wanted. I was never able to get my timing down right to get that for some reason or another. But the original series that came out back in the 80s was one of my go-to series. I loved it. It originally was based off of some mini comic books that came with the action figures came out first. And then there was like mini comic books in the packaging that gave you the backstory of Eternia and the characters of He-Man, Skeletor, and the such, until Filmation seen that there was a potential for this series. And it lasted a couple seasons, and it was a lot of episodes. I actually had the DVD sets to that years ago. But over time, I wound up losing a lot of my DVDs or having to sell some of them off due to financial situations I won't get into here. But there's been a couple reboots and reimaginings of He-Man over the years, including this new one that's made by Kevin Smith and his company. um, Powerhouse Animation that's doing the animation there for He-Man. I'm hoping that the series goes well. There are some talks that the show is mainly going to be about Tila and her girlfriend. Um, and that I'll get into that. Okay, Tila and her girlfriend being the stars of the show is not a problem for me. If you had named the show Masters of the Universe, you know, where if you just named it Masters of the Universe, um, you could have maybe made the series like an anthology series. And before I get into anything else, tell me who your favorite He-Man character is down below and some of your favorite episodes that you remember. But if it was called Masters of the Universe and it was kind of like portrayed as an anthology series, maybe I would be a little bit more opening to like, all right, well, everyone is the star of the show because it's Masters of the Universe, and everyone's going to have their shot at some sort of mission or story that all includes into the bigger story. You know what I mean? But in a show called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and you're not going to really star He-Man, so to speak. And these are all rumors at the moment. But if you look at some of the trailer footage of He-Man, a lot of it seems to be from early on in the series, because if you look at the toy line that comes out with this series, Skeletor has the power sword, all right, which means that at some point he defeated He-Man in battle and retrieved the power sword. So it would seem to appear that if that is a spoiler for the show coming up, at some point He-Man is not going to be around in the show called He-Man, you know. And if they were honest with that from ahead of time, I would be fine with that. You know what I mean? But if you're trying to portray that he's the star of the show and he's only going to be in 1 or 2 episodes, and the other 6 to 8 episodes are going to be about Tila becoming the star of the show, then it should have just remained Masters of the Universe. Not He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, because then He-Man's really not the star of the show, because He-Man's getting top billing. You know, when you get top billing, it's like having King Kong versus Godzilla, and there's no King Kong or Godzilla in the movie. It's kind of like, oh, it's King Kong versus Mothra. I don't know why it's called King Kong versus Godzilla then. You know what I mean? So a little confusing on my end for that, and it's causing me to have anxiety about the show because of the love I've had for the show growing up. The joy that this original series gave me was phenomenal. I know I've mentioned this a lot of times before, but comics and cartoons brought me a lot of joy in a life that when I grew up, didn't have much joy in it. And these certain properties gave me hope for the future. It taught me how to become a better person when there may have not been too many good people around me to teach me those lessons. And characters like He-Man and Lion-O and Duke from G.I. Joe, these characters, Optimus Prime, which I'm going to tell you a quick funny story on Optimus Prime real quick. These characters taught me how to always want to do the right thing even when no one is looking. That's when doing the right thing counts, is when no one is looking. In my opinion, it's a big character trait for me. to know that you're a good person when no one is watching, no one is paying attention, when there's no promise of goodies, treats, and snacks or whatever. Um, to see you do the right thing is a big character trait that I look for in people. This is what he means to me, and I love Kevin Smith. I love all his movies. Really, for the most part, I even love Tusk. Tusk was great. Clerks 1 and 2, the Silent Bob, Jay and Silent Bob movies. Come on, these movies are classics, no doubt about it. But if Kevin is kind of baiting and switching a little bit on us, I'm going to be a little disappointed in him because he hasn't been known to do that in the past, and if he's going to start doing that now, it'd be kind of a disappointing turn for me for him in his career. I'm such a big fan. I've even watched Comic Book Men. You know what I mean? I've watched that show. Because I've listened to his podcast. You know, I'm a fan. I've even had his like stand-up acts or whatever on their DVD. There was DVDs where he'd go to college campuses and interact with them and tell stories and stuff. And I've even had those. Another thing that kind of I heard that seems to be proven, and if you want to look up these said stories that I'm going over, you can check out channels like Clownfish TV. They go into a little bit more in depth clownfish television on YouTube. Um, he would claim that he's a mega fan of He-Man, and come to find out that there's been tweets and interviews with him saying that he's never been a He-Man fan. And these have been legitimate interviews and comments he's made prior to being involved in any He-Man project. Now, if he's not a fan, that's okay. If you're going to work on a property, you have to kind of know the research a little bit. You have to kind of know the history of the character and where you can go with that character. For instance, I like Star Trek, but I'm not really versed in Star Trek stuff like the way I am in Star Wars, okay? And if someone came to me and wanted me to write or be involved in some sort of way with a Star Trek television show or a Star Trek movie, I may not be Mr. Encyclopedia Brown with the history, but I'm going to try to brush up on as much history as I need to so I can make the best content available for those fans, because I would want someone to do that for me, say working on a Star Wars movie or working on a Marvel movie or working on a DC animated movie or on a comic book. I would want you. I don't need you to know every little nook and cranny and say Scarlet Witch and the Vision to write a Scarlet Witch and the Vision comic book that I would enjoy. But you need to definitely know some of the base history and some lesser known facts, because you want to portray the knowledge of that. You want to be people who get these writing jobs that have no really credits to them or really no history to like they don't even care about the history that was laid before for this property, and it's kind of frustrating. I don't need a super fan at the helm. I just need someone who's knowledgeable at the helm and has done their research. And that kind of disappointed me a little bit in Kevin Smith too, because don't lie. Don't lie, Kev. You've gone this far in your career having a nice, solid fan base. Um, I would hate for you to, lose that because you want to try to make it seem like you're cool or you're down, and you're already down. You're already down. You know what I mean? You're already down for the cause. Uh, just don't lie, and people will see that you're trying through your passion of your projects. You know what I mean? Um, like I said, I love the movie Tusk, and maybe some people don't like that, but I like it because it was such a unique story, and that I could tell that it was a story he really wanted to put out there, and that's what I like. I like seeing a project or listening to a project, say it's a music project or something, and that I could tell that you put your passion into it. Okay, that's what fans are looking for, and there's always going to be nitpicky fans, always. You know what I mean? We all think that we know the right way to write Luke Skywalker, or the right way to write Picard, or Captain Pike from Star Trek, or something like that. We think that we know. I was at a comic book shop in Middletown, New York, before the Cactus '99 thing, and I picked up some comic books there while I was out there with the missus and the kid. And there was a fan, there was a guy there trying to tell his fan fiction about the Wayne's family, Batman, Bruce Wayne's mother and father. And he was like, "Oh, I'm writing this story about Thomas and Martha Wayne and this and that." And he's telling the girl behind the counter, and me and the missus had a laugh because it's like he's trying to Mac Daddy this young 20-year-old as a 40-year-old mouth breather. But he was passionate about what he was trying to say. It seemed like he was really dedicated to this project that he was trying to do, and that comes out. He did try. Hello, eternally grateful seas, Mrs. Tully Television. But aside from me joking on him a little bit that he was trying to Mac Daddy to the chick, no harm, no foul. You know what I mean? You could tell that she wasn't so interested. She was just going, yeah, 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 until we came up, and I kind of distracted the whole conversation. I was trying to find out how much that copy of New Mutants '98 was. $400, bro. $400 for New Mutants '98. It wasn't even like a 9.8, bro. It was like a 9 at the best. Yeah. So the animation looks good. The Kevin Smith behind the project looks good. I just don't lie, Kev. Don't lie. I'll let you slide. Been a big fan for 20 years. I'll let you slide on the little lie. Don't make it a habit, Kev. So that's my thoughts on He-Man. Like I said, hey Fernando, what's going on, buddy boy? What's going on? Have you been watching your wrestling, Fernando? Piper Niven on Raw, baby. I'm happy she's on there. I'm gonna definitely check out He-Man. I'll probably check out the whole first season to see how I feel about the He-Man show, but I'm definitely going to be watching it anyway, despite some of the rumors of Tila. Oh, I know how to talk. Do you know how to talk? I'm just going straight to the moon, baby. Television, baby. Another interesting thing I heard this week, and I have to laugh to myself because these corporations, I'm telling you, have me laughing sometimes. Disney, okay. Disney tried to copyright the name Loki. All right. Now, if some of you are unfamiliar with why that kind of is a funny thing, is because the character Loki, while yes, appears on Disney movies and shows, was originally a Norse god made by the Norsemen and women like centuries and centuries ago. And most of what you hear in the movies about Norse mythology ring true. They're, Odin and Thor and Loki and Hela and this Ragnarok and stuff. All those things are true. Um, but I don't understand how you can try to copyright a Norse mythology god. And that's like even trying to copyright Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? Or copyright um, Allah. You're not going to be able to because um, it's like a religion. You can't really copyright religion. You know what I mean? There's people still to this day that follow Norse mythology as a religion. Okay, and they got some backlash over this because they tried to take down a shirt on a website, that one of these T-shirt making websites. Someone had the phrase "low key" on it, LOW, right? Low, the word low, and then the word KEY, above each other, and it was in green lettering. Okay, now I'm not saying that this person didn't try to find a way around not saying Loki as in LOKI from Marvel movies, and maybe the green font didn't do him any justice either. But you can't. Like Disney tried to take that shirt down because they're trying to say that's copyright infringement, and then they tried to copyright Loki, the character Loki, which was I found to be silly. I didn't know that you can copyright religion. I don't think that's going to ever go through. And once that goes through, oh my God, I can only imagine the hell that's going to go through if you can start copyrighting things like Jesus Christ, Mary Magdalene, any character from Muslim culture or Jewish culture or any other religion or culture. If you start copyrighting these things, it's going to really create a lot of things that are not going to be good, I think. And but the it's all, as Vince McMahon said, and Fernando can tell you, it's all about the money. And none truer when it comes to all about the money. Does Disney really want that dollar bill, y'all? A little funny, absolutely. And in real life, that's why I love the Vincent Kennedy McMahon character, because he told such the truth as the asshole guy that another one of my favorite things Vince McMahon used to that he said one time, I thought was the funniest thing was life sucks and then you die. Vince McMahon, for anything else, was a genius with a lot of things. Maybe not so much now because of his older age and his body slowing down, but back in the day, Vince McMahon was the bee's knees up here in the brain. He knew what he was doing. As far as that Vince McMahon character was Mr. McMahon. But I thought you would find that funny. I thought it was funny trying to trademark a mythology creature. I don't think it's ever going to be able, mythology creature or person. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But, let me know what are some of your favorite mythology stories down below, or like fables or stuff like that. Let me know down below. This next thing I've seen, oh boy on this. There's this movie that the BET company, uh, Black Entertainment Television. It's a cable network um, that caters to entertainment for Black people here in America. Um, I've watched BET shows before. I used to love 106 and Park. Um, that basement freestyle segment they used to have was fire. And Freya was one of the co-hosts. I love Freya, and damn, I can't remember that guy's name for the life of me right now. He was a tall, skinny guy with braids. I think braids or dreads. But used to love that. You got to see the hottest hip hop videos out. You got to see some of these hot and upcoming coming rappers like Blind Fury come up through their basement freestyles and stuff like that. Freestyle Fridays. Woo! BT though, they canceled that show and they've moved on to shows that are made by Tyler Perry and other creators. And yes, obviously, um, I'm not necessarily the demographic, and that's okay. You know, I it doesn't mean that I don't enjoy movies that have an all black cast or an all black crew or whatever. I If a movie's good, I'll watch it. You know what I mean? Um, as an example of a movie that was like an all black movie, I guess Boys in the Hood. I loved Boys in the Hood, and I didn't care that there wasn't a white person in that movie because the characters, I fell in love with the characters. You know what I mean? The movie Paid in Full. I love that movie, and I don't think that movie had any white folks in it either. And that again, it didn't matter to me because um, the story was riveting and intense. Um, so I don't care. I've never cared about black entertainment television. What about white entertainment television? Well, you got NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, CW. There's a lot of other channels dedicated to white shows. You know what I mean? So if that's always been your main complaint about BET television is, oh, why has it got to be black entertainment? Get over yourself if that's in a way because there's so many other channels that if that's really what's getting your gears, instead of just acknowledging that it's a channel dedicated to a culture of people and they want to have that available. It's okay. We all want to see people that look like us on television or in movies or in music. There's nothing wrong with that, or in magazines. It's fine. But just because I don't see a chubby Irishman in a movie, I don't get upset about it either. I'm kind of like, all right, well, there's no chubby Irishman. It's okay. As long as the character, I'd rather have great characters as opposed to a whole movie of chubby Irishmen. You know what I mean? I'd rather have a great movie uh, as opposed to a shitty movie that has old chubby Irishmen in it. I hope that makes sense. But what I'm trying to get to with the BET channel is they're making a movie, a feature-length movie, and it's called Karen the Movie. And it's about a woman named Karen who terrorizes her new black neighbors that move into what seems to be a predominantly white neighborhood. And you see her interacting with them, with the neighbors, and of course, you hear her say stuff like, "You people are always angry." Um, she gets mad at them for not bringing in the garbage quick enough, and then in one scene she knocks it over, the garbage. There's a scene in which she's on the phone with the cops, pretending like a group of teenagers are bothering her when they're really not, and she has them arrested. Um, it, I feel like this is going to be a really cheesy movie, and I think this movie came out a little too late for what they're trying to do, because this whole Karen meme thing has been kind of like dying lately. The barbecue Becky memes where she's calling the police because the black family's having a barbecue, that really did happen. The lady that calls the cops on a young black girl for selling water, that really did happen. But these things have died down because I think what has happened is that they see the such backlash to these things because everyone has this now, okay? This, not particularly this phone, but people always like, oh, you want to be a dick? You catch what I mean? So, and now it's gotten to the other side where even when people are just trying to talk, people have their phones out and kind of. When people record things, you have to always take into account what happened before the recording started. But um, if you can get the gist of what's going on from that video, then yeah, all right, you can kind of tell who's in the right and who's in the wrong. A telephone in someone's face isn't going to always solve the problem anyway, but sometimes it entices it. But Karen the movie, go figure, go figure. That is going to be. Now, I'm not going to go see it in the theater. I'm not going to go be worried about this movie like that, but I think I would be interested in seeing it if it ever showed up free on Amazon or something like that. I'd like to really watch this movie and laugh at that. um, I want to talk a little bit about Billie Eilish for a quick second. Um, I love. I don't know any of Billie Eilish's songs or music. Okay, I know that she's a poppin' artist currently, the last few years, and I kind of have to admire the hypocrisy of things sometimes on when people say things or make mistakes or there's a misunderstanding of things. But Billie Eilish, when she was about 13 or 14, made some racist remarks and comments towards the Asian community. And those had surfaced, and she apologized for it. But China is really like pissed off, and her fans in China are really pissed off too at her. And I don't know if it's really going to interfere with her making money or not. I could care less one way or the other if she makes money or not off her music. Uh, I don't really have a dog in the race when it comes to her and her music and her standing. But what I do have a dog in the race about is we pick and choose people to get mad about and want to yell at in the hopes of them disappearing from the entertainment world for forever because of less. You know what I mean? And here she is making racist comments, and everyone wants to forgive her and let it move on and stuff like that. Uh, I like to see sometimes that done for other people as well. If you're going to do it for her, especially with these racist comments that she's made, uh, you should be able to give other people a chance too. You can't just want to give people a chance because of you liking their music or something like that. You know what I mean? Um, you have to acknowledge that the artist and the art are two separate things always. And if you don't want to acknowledge that, then your judgment has to go on everybody. Um, I can separate the artist from the art. For instance, R. Kelly is a prime example of separating the art from the artist. R. Kelly as a person, if you were to believe all these accusations on him, is a horrible person. However, his musical library is chef's kiss. Beautiful. Put the keys in the ignition, you know, Fiesta, Trapped in the Closet. Uh, all these songs and albums he's had have been great. When you find out some of the subtext to them and then realize some of the things that he's done in his life, you can kind of have a cringy reaction to it. I do think that he had a problem with wanting to be with underage women or girls. I can't even call them women if they're underage. Girls, teenage girls. He married Aaliyah, the singer, before she died when she was like 15. He was able to convince her family to sign off on that. And that's a problem. And he was a grown man, like he was in his 20s, like in his mid 20s. Like he just turned 20 and she just turned 16, and you kind of like, uh, uh, uh. He was like in his mid 20s and she was like 15. That's an issue. That's an issue. You know what I mean? And just because he's rich and famous doesn't mean that there's not a problem. But if you're going to want to punish certain people for certain things, then it's got to go for everybody. So that's why I brought up Billie Eilish's name. She had some racist things that were said towards the Asian community, and people are trying to brush it, entertainment, trying to brush it under the rug. The more people can kind of bring up these type of things, the more fair it can be for everyone. That these people want to make everything fair, will make it fair and let everyone know what everyone else does, or then don't say nothing at all about anybody. Sometimes it's got to be all or nothing with some of these things. Sometimes there are layers and nuances to these things, but you know, racism is racism. You know what I mean? No matter who does it. Let's see. There's going to be this new Star Wars series on Disney Plus that's going to be written by this woman called Leslie Headland. Okay, she's famous for doing a play about an unkind boss, and she's even more famous for being Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant during those years in which he was abusing women. Now, supposedly she didn't know anything about him abusing women. But after he was arrested and found out about everything, she made a play about a lot of similar things that he's done that aren't really detailed in the public, but are in the play. So she did know what was going on. Okay. And this is a woman, Leslie Headland. Okay. Leslye, Headland. It's about females and protecting females and this and that. Well, where was that gusto when you were Harvey Weinstein's assistant and making money off of the misery of other women? I'd really like to know where you were at during that time. And I'd really like to know how you were even able to get a job in the entertainment business when you knew these things that he was doing, and you didn't do anything about them. Um, when women get abused, or men or children get abused in such a way that they're afraid to come out with it, it takes a long time for these people to even admit to themselves what has happened, that they allowed themselves to be weak. And yes, when you're alone um, with someone who's a little bit more powerful than you, and it doesn't necessarily even need to be physically more empowering over someone else. It just means the status that they have and the ability to end your life professionally, um, or in any other sort of way, uh, or even I'm not like saying they're going to send people out to kill you, but there's more than one way to kill a person without them being dead physically. They can be dead mentally and emotionally inside, and then that this man has been doing these things to people, um, and you're rewarded with a Disney Plus show. Uh, Makes my brain want to explode a lot because I am myself a sexual assault survivor. I've been assaulted sexually as a child, and I would really hate. I would have really hated to see the man who did that be successful on any sort of level. And I have to think, there's more to people than just what they do bad to others. But I feel like if you're doing certain things to people um, like that, you shouldn't really be given a chance to do anything. That will lead you to having gobs of money and influence over other people's lives because um, it's consider you a monster at that point. You know what I mean? It's not like you have to think to yourself, like for instance, Harvey Weinstein's position. Um, he like women like Rose McGowan, another woman that he has been accused of sexually assaulting. Uh, these guys have to think to themselves: am I able to get these women in any other scenario to have relations with me outside of this particular scenario? Like, if you take out the possibility of getting a role in a movie that can change your life, um, are you able to still meet with those people and get what you want done uh, through that? You know what I mean? And if the answer is no, then you're probably using influence unduly to make people feel uncomfortable, and uh, you're almost forcing them. You're not putting a gun to their head, but sometimes people's livelihoods, they feel like, and yes, people could say, well, these women could have gotten up and left, but we don't really know either. We weren't really in there in those rooms either. But I believe that that man has done a lot of things that he's been accused of. He's been arrested and jailed for it, and that personal assistant of his, I hope that she lays awake every night hearing those women in her head saying, why didn't you do anything? Um, but yeah, it's just amazing to find that these type of people get jobs, and the little folks get screwed all the time. It's pretty mind-boggling when I think about it. Yeah, Leslie Headley getting a Disney Plus show when she, I don't think, deserves to be ahead of anything, any show. But yeah, that's my opinion on that. What I'd like for you guys to do is, because I'm going to start wrapping up the stream soon. I'm going to be doing a retro blast after the weekend or during the weekend, maybe during the weekend. Um, the retro blast is going to concentrate on the upcoming holiday, 4th of July. Now, which is also called Independence Day. I wonder what the retro blast is going to be for that. Hmm. I also sent a video to Tim, my editor, Smokey Bishop. Always go to that guy for your editing needs. He is a gem amongst men. Um, I recently sent him a video of the top 5 fathers in comic books for in remembrance of Father's Day that just passed, the past weekend. Um, so maybe that'll be up soon to celebrate belated Father's Day. But yeah, my retro blast I'm gonna do because I have one lined up with Chrissy soon, aka Mrs. Tully Television. We're gonna be doing something different, but yeah, I'm gonna be doing Independence Day, and I'll get to that this weekend. And I can't believe that movie's over 20 years old. Holy moly, Schmikeys, bro, Schnikes. But I want to thank everyone for stopping by. You got 2. We're doing together. Yes, we're going to be doing 2. Uh, oh, Cornelius Phineas Longbottom Esquire the Third recently contacted me, and he says he's going to send a video to me this weekend to upload on the channel. So be aware that Cornelius Phineas Longbottom Esquire the Third is going to be sending me a video this weekend. He wants me to tell you guys he didn't forget about you here on YouTube on Tully Television. He wants you to know that he's got another video coming up, and he wants you to be ready for it. Okay? So be ready for Cornelius this weekend, guys. All right? I want to thank everyone for stopping by. I want to thank everybody for subscribing, liking, commenting, interacting in every way possible. Adds to our channel. It adds to the algorithm where our channel can be more recommended, more viewed. You know, I want us to grow together, guys. I hope that I've added some sort of entertainment to your day. I hope that if I found you in down spirits or even in good spirits, I hope I've raised your spirits even more. Um, Always, please, always remember, guys. Remember, without you, without you guys here on Tully Television, all right, it wouldn't be possible. Because I want us to go straight to the moon, baby! Straight to the moon, baby. It's our channel. Don't forget that. It may say Tully Television, all right? That's fine. It started off as a little idea that started off as Tully Talks and morphed into Tully Television. And I want us to grow this community. We are still on the march to 75 subscribers, even. Don't forget that. 75 subscribers, two $20, oh, sorry, I keep saying two $25 gift cards from Visa to 2 single winners will be given away once we hit 75 subscribers. So share. Come on, tell you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. And until next time, peace, Snookums.